Hello Year 1. This video will help you with your Maths home learning for Monday 19th of October, and today we're looking at subtraction. Before we start, let's warm up with counting in twos. Now we did this in class, so you may remember that when we're counting in twos we're actually counting on 2. So if we start on 0 and count on 2, 1, 2, you actually land yourself on number 2. To count on 2 more, 1, 2, now we're on the number 4. 2 more, 1, 2, and we're on the number 6. Now count with me in twos all the way up to number 10. Here we go. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Well done. Now help me count in twos again, but this time all the way up to number 20. Here we go. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and 20. Well done. Keep doing this at home. Use a number line to help you, and later, when you become really confident, try and count without the number line. Now, let's look at the word subtraction. Can you think of any words that might mean the same thing that you might have used before? Can you think of any? Did any of you come up with the word minus? Minus also means subtraction. How about the word takeaway? Did anyone think of the word takeaway? So when you're doing subtraction, you're taking away. Then we have the word subtract. We'll be using that word a lot this week. Then we have the word difference. So when you're doing subtraction, you're actually finding out the difference between two numbers. And then there's the word fewer. You might realize that when you're subtracting, the numbers actually get smaller and smaller, so you get fewer and fewer left. Now when we're writing number sentences, we tend to use numbers, signs and symbols. Do you know what this sign means? You remember? Yes, this is the equal sign that we write just before we write our answer. Do you know what the sign for subtraction looks like? Have a think. This is what the sign for subtraction looks like. And you're going to be seeing this and using this when you're writing your number sentences. Now today's lesson is very practical, so you're going to have to use things from around the house. You could use dry pasta, you could use beans or lentils or even sweets if you like. I'm going to be using sweets this morning. Now on your worksheet you will see some subtraction cards which look a little like this. And you'll see a number sentence. Let's have a read. This says 5 subtract 3 equals, and then we need to work out the answer. Now to work that out, this is where your objects are going to be handy. So if you get your sweets or your pasta ready, and then we can work this out. So what you have to do, first you have to look at the first number, which is the larger number, and you need to count out that many sweets or pasta, whatever you have, into the first circle. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I counted 5 because the first number in my number sentence is 5. Now, 5 subtract 3. 5 subtract 3. And before I do that, I'm just going to write the number 5 under here, so I know how many that I have. Get my pen. So I counted out 5. I'm going to write the number 5 here. So I'm building my number sentence. 5 subtract 5 subtract 3. So what I need to do is I need to pick up 3 of the sweets from here and put them into the second circle. So I'm taking them away, I'm subtracting them. So count with me. 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to get my pen again, and I'm going to write 3 here because I've subtracted 3. Let's read my number sentence. 5 subtract 3 equals. So to find what this equals, I have to go back to my first circle and see how many are left. So once I've taken away 3, I've got 1 sweet and 2 sweets left. So my answer is 2. So 5 subtract 3 equals 2. So I've got 2 left over. Well done. So now we've managed to find out the answer to 5 subtract 3 equals 2. Should we try a different one? So let me rub out. Oops. What I've written first, so I can start again. And you're going to need to pick up your objects and put them back. We're going to try a different sum this time. Let's try this one. So there's different number cards on your sheet, so you can try a different one. Let's try this one. Let's have a read. 10 subtract 6. So just like we did before, we look at the first number, which is 10. We're going to count out 10 sweets into our first circle. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So let's go back to our number sentence. That's 10. So I've counted 10. I'm going to put number 10 here because I have 10 in this circle to begin with. Okay, then it says 10 subtract 6. So I need to take 6 sweets from here and put them into this circle. So count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I have managed to subtract 6 from my first circle into my second circle. Now, I shall write 6 underneath here, my number sentence, 6, because that's how many I have subtracted. Let's read again. 10 subtract 6 equals. Now to find out my answer, I have to go back to the first circle and see how many sweets I have left. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the answer is 4, which I'm going to put here. So 10 subtract 6 equals 4. So put 4 here as well to show how many I had left over. So you've got lots of other cards like this on your worksheet. You have this diagram with the circles where you can place your objects. Have a go and see how many sums you can solve.